Gluten can make Halloween scary for some ghosts and goblins, but personal chef and caterer Jan Laird has a solution, and she is in our Builder Source kitchen. Jan, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Chad.
This is such a timely issue and hot topic. It seems there are so many people that every day are learning they have, you know, a gluten intolerance, a gluten allergy, all the way up to celiac disease. I mean, it seems really like almost an epidemic.
Yeah, you know, and it's really sad because food is supposed to be so nourishing and so good for you that when I do an event, when I cater or even teach in my cooking classes, I always make sure there is a gluten-free menu or gluten-free item because people come to class and you want them to eat. And it's very sad when I do a wedding or a luncheon or something and you're hungry.
Yeah.
And what can you eat? So it's really important now. I put it in my repertoire to just make sure that everyone can eat something.
There are gluten-free options.
Gluten-free.
That's good, and I'll tell you, folks like my wife appreciate it because when we go out to eat, that's always the thing. It's like, oh,
exactly.
can't eat anything. That's terrible.
They stick to salads.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to stick to salads.
Yeah. So we've got this wonderful plate here of yummy things, and we're talking, of course, about Halloween. And so what are some options that folks may want to either give out to trick-or-treaters, or if we're hosting a party and we know our little ones have a gluten intolerance?
Yeah, you know, when my kids were small, we used to invite the neighbors over for a Halloween party. The kids still got to dress up, but we were more in charge of the food, and we were more in charge of what came into the house and what went out of the house. And I think that's really important when you have little kids that have a gluten intolerance, because one bite of something can make them sick for the whole night and into the next day.
Yeah, and it's not fun.
And it affects people differently. You know, I have a daughter that's gluten-free, and so I really have to make sure that when I'm making stuff for her for dinner, for family dinners and stuff, that, you know, the soup doesn't have gluten in it, the salad dressings don't have gluten in it, the soy sauce when I make Chinese food, you know, but fortunately, most people are aware of these things, so they're adapting a lot of products out there that are for gluten-free people. And that's so much better than even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It really is.
The good thing is that more and more options are becoming available as it's becoming more prominent. So what do we have here?
So these cookies are gluten-free cookies, and I kind of just sprinkled some orange and black little sprinkles on them. But basically, these are some cookies that I teach in my gluten-free class, and these are a double chocolate chip fudge cookie. They're fabulous, and these are chocolate macaroons that are basically egg whites, a little bit of sugar, a little tiny bit of gluten-free flour, and they puff up, and sometimes you put some, I put Nutella in the middle for kids. Who doesn't like that, right?
Oh, you just said the magic words.
And you can sandwich them together, or you can eat them just like that. I have clients that order them just like that. They freeze them, and then when they want a little snack or something sugary, because there's not a lot out there, they just pull them out and eat one at a time. But these cookies I made one time for a wedding, and the woman was gluten-free, and the man could eat anything, and they made these cookies at my kitchen, and they bagged them up, and they gave them out as the wedding, you know, favors that when you left with the recipes.
That's really smart.
So people could make them at home and learn how to eat gluten-free, because it really is a health benefit to get that flour out of your system.
And even if it's not, you know, we were talking earlier with our doctors about, you know, the sort of self-medicating and working sort of internal to external and making our own health, that gluten, it has so many different allergies and so many different reactions to different people. But even just like for myself, when I cut out gluten because of my wife, I noticed health benefits. Not even that it's an allergy, but that it's just my body's working better.
Your body feels better. With me, when I give up the flour, I'm more clear-minded. I can focus easier on things, which is really helpful in my business. Because I'm just going crazy all the time. But you can really feel the difference. You really, really can feel the difference. These cookies, these chocolate cookies, are a blend of several flours that I put together. So I put some coconut flour and some almond flour and some white rice flour and some cornstarch. And I just make the blend and put it in the freezer. And then when I want to make cookies, when I want to make cakes, when I want to make muffins, I use that blend.
It's just there.
It's just there. So when I see a recipe and it says 2 cups of all-purpose flour, I use my 2 cups of gluten-free, made all-purpose flour, and it works beautifully.
That's great.
It works beautifully. There's a little tweaking to it because there's no gluten, but then you add like xanthan gum or something like that to alleviate it. And
well, now you teach classes. Now you've got one coming up this Thursday, but it's full, unfortunately.
It is full.
But if we want to get on the waiting list for the next one, how do we do that?
Right. You can reach me by going to my website, jancancookforyou.com, and just send me, there's a little place that says contact, and you can just send me an email, or you can call me at 505-350-0600. It's a very popular class.
I'd imagine.
And it gets filled up very quickly, but I do private classes. So if you and your friends or people said, you know, I really want to do this, I just need 6 people to put a class together.
It's not much.
And it's a great way to spend an evening. You get to eat all the food. You get
That's
all
not
the
bad.
recipes.
Yeah, that's great.
You
That's
know,
fantastic.
and it's fun. It's really fun to be in the kitchen and
fantastic.
cooking
Well,
stuff, so.
we are going to go to break, but when we come back, I'm going to eat some of these cookies, and I got a feeling some of the other guys in the crew are going to be eating them as well. Stick around, folks. This is really nice.
Thanks.
And welcome back. So, Josh, our floor crew, he beat me to the punch.
He had 2 cookies.
Oh, he took 2.
Because I took a bite and I said, here, Josh, you have to eat this. And
2.
he did not hesitate at all.
Well, I don't blame him. I'm going to.
He thought it was good.
Right now,
so
that's
this,
delicious.
you can't even tell that you really can't, can you?
No, and that's the thing about gluten cooking is that you really can't tell.
Right.
So that's great. Well, listen, folks, tomorrow on Two Casa Style, we are talking Santa Fe Fashion Week. Starting tomorrow, and designers Allie and Ollie are here. We also have concert pianist and composer David Geist, who is talking about his cabaret show at El Pranzo Italian Grill. And Village Inn is back in the Builder's Source Kitchen. Thank you so much for joining us today. If there's anything at all you need to know about today's show, hop onto our website at casa.com. Thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow, folks.
Bye.